Since most of my favorite movies have been delayed, I'm so excited for like 4, 5, or 6 movies coming out this year. Quiet Place Part 2, I have not seen that one yet. I pre-ordered it on Blu-ray, No Way Home, Black Widow, Venom 2, of course, I obviously want to see that one, and of course, The Matrix 4 will be seen on those days. And I'll also probably get the Kingsman as well, because I saw the other two as well. But what about the next year? The next year is full of many movies that are going to basically dust massive movies. These are the movies I'm most excited for of these movies. So, the first movie I think everybody knows. Oh, Spider-Verse is not coming out next year. It's coming out. Then when is it coming out? Then when is Spider-Verse 2 coming out? Not that year. When is Spider-Verse 2 coming out? Then it really does not say when it is. I'm gonna actually look it up. So Spider-Verse 2 is coming out October. Okay, that's coming out. Still coming out 2022. So number one most anticipated movie. I think you all know what it is, and that is the sequel to Sonic the Hedgehog. Yep, it's the most anticipated movie of 2022. Of any movie, I think this is the movie I want to see the most because they teased Tails being in the second movie, and of course, I think Knuckles is gonna be in the movie as well. He's another major Sonic character as well. We're going to see more of Jim Carrey as Doctor Eggman, and he was pretty great in that movie. And I think we're gonna see more about the Sonic side of the world, not that's the human side of the world. We can see more of the Sonic side of the world. The first movie was already pretty amazing and pretty much especially when it comes to video game movies, it's probably the greatest video game movie of all time. In my opinion, my favorite video game movie of all time. Because I really love the Sonic universe. I really love the Sonic movies and games. I'm probably gonna buy Sonic Colors Ultimate on. I'm thinking of getting it on the Switch this time, not on the Xbox, because I can play the Sonic Colors on the go instead of playing it on the Xbox like with the other two Sonic games. But Sonic the Hedgehog 2, of course, you know, yeah. But Sonic the Hedgehog 2, most anticipated movie of 2022. The next movie on the list is, of course, Jurassic World Dominion. It's Jurassic Park, of course. What do you expect from Jurassic Park? Of course, Jurassic Park was going to be on this list. And yeah, it's gonna probably make a billion dollars. Wouldn't be surprised. It'll probably be like the first movie be sent. Actually, No Way Home's gonna make $1 billion first before Jurassic World Dominion. But Jurassic World Dominion, I think, is be like the second or third movie to make $1 billion at the box office, just because of how big it is. I know Fallen Kingdom was such a letdown for the franchise, but I think this one's gonna be very interesting because it'll be about dinosaurs being in the open world and stuff, and the dinosaurs being in the open world and being reintroduced into the wild. So they've been reintroduced in the wild is just a very interesting concept they're taking this franchise to, and they're gonna probably make a fourth movie set in the Jurassic World Park series. And yeah, that's basically about that one. So that's the second movie. The third movie I'm excited for is Spider-Man and the Spider-Verse 2. The first movie was pretty amazing. I mean, in terms of animation, it's definitely a breath of fresh air. And yeah, I think 95% of people who've seen this movie want to see more of this universe, want to see more of the Spider-Verse as well. Again, I don't really. Again, I think they could have just made it a standalone movie, but again, Spider-Man is profitable. They're going to turn it into its own separate Spider-Verse universe movie. The first movie was already pretty great, so it's fine. It's good that they're making a sequel because, of course, they're gonna make more money. They're gonna make massive amount of money off of this movie because of how popular the first movie became and how leggy it became at the box office because of how popular and the word of mouth really spread this movie and also the holidays as well. And yeah, there we go about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse 2. That's number 3. I don't really care about orders. So number 4 is what is it? Is it back here? John Wick 4, of course. John Wick 4. Of course, John Wick 4 has to be at this list. John Wick has been all the John Wick movies, and of course, the other movie, Nobody, all of the John Wick movies and Nobody, which is made by the writer of John Wick, have been nothing but a amazing, basically just masterpieces. Okay, Nobody is basically like John Wick. It actually did worse than John Wick, but again, if it was not during a pandemic, it would probably open very similar to John Wick. Wick. And it did pretty well. Nobody did pretty well, made like $60 million at the worldwide box office. And Nobody has been a success like John Wick has been. And Nobody has just made me more excited for John Wick 4 as a whole. So John Wick 4, I think it just could be another classic like the last ones. So number 5 is the Batman. So the Batman is the movie with Robert Pattinson. I know people are gonna hate this movie, but I watched the trailer and the movie looks very great. I don't know if there are rumors that they might delay it, but currently the movie is still set up for a 2022 release date. So Batman is still set up for a 2022 release date. I watched the trailer. The Riddler is gonna be in this movie. It looks pretty amazing. It was supposed to release this year, but it was delayed because of the pandemic. But I don't know, but I don't think they're gonna delay this. It would be pretty dumb of them, especially considering they're going to have to be competing. Especially with basically give Marvel complete rule over the box office as well. So number 6 movies we have on the list is okay. I have to look for it first. Not the Marvels. Not excited for the Marvels. No way. Oh, Creed 3 is coming out that year too. I saw Creed 3. Number 6, I think it's the only Marvel movie I'm actually excited for, and that is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I don't really want to watch Black Panther 2. I didn't really care for the first movie, and Captain Marvel 2 is gonna be garbage, like the first movie. So, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness is about the multiverse to get read more into the multiverse. I'm not really excited for many more MCU projects going forward. I'm actually more excited for what DC is doing than what Marvel is doing, like with Black Adam. That'll probably be on this list in Aquaman 2. I know people can say, "Will you excited for Aquaman 2, even though you hate Amber Heard?" Well, I don't give a crap. I can be excited for what I want to be excited for. It's definitely going to be better than, Captain Marvel 2. Okay? But Doctor Strange 2 is the only Marvel movie I'm really excited for. And that's really it. It has fallen down my list of excited movies because of how Marvel, has because of how underwhelming the Eternal trailer was, and how you need to watch WandaVision, which is a Disney Plus, so to watch this movie. So yeah, number 7 is Black Adam. So Black Adam, of course, is basically the prequel to Shazam. It also stars The Rock as Black Adam, and The Rock alone will make this movie good. I think him being the villain, the main villain alone, the original evil Shazam would be pretty good. And this movie was actually supposed to come out at the end of the year, but it was supposed to come out at the end of this year, but they delayed it for summer because of COVID again. But this movie and Shazam 2, I think I'm pretty excited for both of these. This one I think has been a much more darker movie compared to Shazam's much more lighthearted series, and I think it'd be very if they pull off the right strings, I think Black Adam could be another unforgettable masterpiece like Shazam. So yeah, so that is number 7. Number 8 is of course Aquaman 2. I know people are like, really? I think I would rather see this in theaters over Avatar 2. I'm going to see this in theaters over Avatar 2 because Avatar 1 was so boring and just uninspiring. Aquaman 1 was a very fun and very great movie. It had funny scenes, it had great action scenes, and it took a hero that was not really that well received, that not really well liked, and it turned it into a good story. I want to see, of course, more of that. Of course, it might be disappointing, like not as good as the original, like Wonder Woman 1984. 1984 is still good, but not as good as the first one. And I have my fears about this one too, that Aquaman 2, or whatever they're going to call this one, won't be as great as the original. And it'll be like the worst one of the two. But I'm not really that worried. It's not gonna be like Turds of Prey, where it's gonna be a pile of garbage vids. And yeah, there we go. Number 9, of course, is Creed 3. Creed 3 will be the first Creed movie without Rocky, but I think that Creed will be able to carry this movie on its own because it is about him. And I wouldn't be surprised this movie will probably deal with Rocky's death in the movie because he doesn't want because Sylvester Stallone is getting pretty old. And this movie series has been a pretty good passage of torch movie series for older fans of Rocky and newer fans of Creed who will probably explore the older Rocky movies from watching Creed. So yeah, Creed 3 of course is going to be at this list. I'm probably going to watch this movie too as well. Creed 3, the first two were pretty great movies as well. Definitely more representative of the Rocky movies as well. So, yep, there we go. Creed 3, definitely on the list. And number 10, movies. So, the last movie I am excited for, not that one, is. Man, there's a couple of movies I could put on this at number 10. Morbius looked interesting. I'm actually deciding which movie to put on. Morbius looked interesting. Indiana Jones vibe, not really excited for that one. Don't know why they're only making that because of the cast grab and Fast 2. Those are the only 2 movies. And if Sherlock Holmes could be releasing this year too. But again, that movie had no release date, so yeah, go do an updated list of this for it later on. Because there's gonna probably be some movies, or these movies gonna be delayed as well. So I'm gonna probably go with number 10. Would probably be. Or also there's a Transformers movie which is being made by, which is the sequel to, of course, the Bumblebee, of course. Yeah, I can put this one out of this. I really like the Bumblebee movie. It's definitely much more better than the Michael Bay movies. I think this movie should focus a bit more on the action as rest of the story, but not overly just whatever the hell Michael Bay did with Transformers. I think it'll be like the first Transformers movies, or Godzilla or Alita, was a perfect about story, and there's still some action scenes in between. Bumblebee does a couple of action scenes, but isn't really that amazing when it comes to action. I think that there should be more action scenes in Transformers Rise of the Beast. Or it should be like Godzilla King of the Monsters. The critics may not like it, but of course, the fans will like it because it'll have a perfect amount of action and fighting scenes in the movie. So, yeah. Other movies I could talk about is The Flash. Again, I'm surprised to make it a Flash movie considering they made a TV series about Flash, but it's gonna be set in the DCEU. But again, the DCEU is so muddled to begin with because of how they handled Justice League, and so just released Zack Snyder's Justice League instead of what they released as the actual Justice League movie we got, because Zack Snyder's Justice League was actually supposed to be 2 movies. But yep, that movie's on that list as well. Would be a honorable mention, and of course the last movie would be Morbius. This just sounds interesting. But other than that, I'm not really that excited for some of these movies as well. I'm not really excited for Turning Red, which will probably piss off every Pixar fanboy and the moms. I'm not really excited for Thor: Love and Thunder. I have expressed small interest in it. I think it could be a good movie, but again, given the wokeness of Disney, I'm not really excited for it at all. And I'm definitely not excited for the Marvels or Black Panther, which Wakanda Forever, because that's gonna be about Shuri, and we all know it is gonna be about her, and I hate Shuri, and I'm definitely not excited for another Toy Story movie, because, yep, another cash grab, what it seems to me. It'll probably get perfect reviews by the critics as well, and be called a masterpiece by the critics, because, oh my god, you know what? Because that's how it's gonna be. It's gonna be considered a masterpiece. It's gonna probably make $1 billion at the box office as well, because it's Toy Story, and it's gonna make $1 billion as well. Like the third and fourth movie did. But yep, and if it's coming out this year, Sherlock Holmes 3 as well would have been number 10. And yeah, there we go about the movies. And of course, 2023 has several other movies like Kraven the Hunter. Sounds pretty cool. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. But of course, there isn't really many movies coming out that year. So, that we know of that's foul. And maybe they might finally release the Alita sequel in 2023. So that's big. And also Quiet Place 3 is coming out. Another Quiet Place movie coming out in 2023 as well. So, but that's for 2022. The full we're gonna do it. We're gonna do another ranking much later on in the year, around December to November, to really put a gauge of what movies are coming out. And yeah, also I think Shazam: Fury of Gods is coming out that year as well. Yeah, it's coming out that year as well. So Shazam: Fury of Gods coming out that year as well. And this movie called Praise This is coming out in 2029. That's basically it. Goodbye.